Last we left off, you guys were in the plane created by Ider and the Indefinite. Um, you had defeated some of the Guardians left immediately on the other side of the gate, including a solar dragon and some creatures that may or may not have been related to whatever's going on here. But it's known as dimensional shamblers. Um, Heading down the mountain, you guys found yourselves in a quiet forest with prehistoric creatures roaming among the ruins of what we would refer to as modern cities, with vines and trees kind of twisting through rusted cars and skyscraper skeletons. And uh, even here, the time distortions were present, with flowers blooming and wilting within seconds. Um, you were able to convince a resting Brachiosaurus to to move out of the way to let you pass on the bridge. Um, and after taking a moment to regroup, Aldrich's crew, the Protectors, went in a different direction to try to distract the roaming sentinel form of Max and Price. From there, you guys moved on to a more cyberpunk themed area, with like neon soaked buildings and gravity defying monorails and skyscrapers, uh, far bigger than than most buildings you guys have seen, with people glitching or repeating actions like corrupted programs. And it was here that you encountered a strange hologram uh, that, when encountered, began to kind of call out the fact that you are not in align with the flow of time from her perspective, and began to ask you weird and vague questions uh, before you guys were able to pass. So, you moved on, and you're starting to head towards, I believe it was a gate to the next area. Was there anything anyone wished to accomplish in cyberpunk land um, before you continue?
There is the question of how readily available weapons are, considering it is a cyberpunk area.
Yeah, I
Are
think
there any random neon like rods lying around as all cyberpunk settings seem to have?
I mean, there's a
Just, you know.
crowbar and leaning against a trash can.
Oh, we gotta pick that up for our inventory
free
for sure.
crowbar.
That'll definitely be helpful.
It can go in with the, I almost said rat traps, bear traps.
Mhm. Hell yeah, now we'll be able to catch bears and crows.
Uh, Aaron puts all his iron trinkets into a bag and starts beating up the Fae with it.
TBH probably would be pretty effective.
Would that not be a really good bludgeoning weapon? Santa's bag of tricks could do a lot of damage, is what I'm saying.
It's a bag of holding, so like its mass is not what it seems. But anyway,
Either that or Santa has fur gloves of storm giant strength.
Why not both? Um, but anyway, bringing it back in, you guys retrieve the crowbar. um, but you head through the gate towards the next area. Um, you find yourselves in, for lack of a better descriptor, a steampunk Victorian nightmare. All brass towers, gear choked streets, train whistles that blow backwards. Uh, time loops here are manifesting even still, with the clocks all seeming to be in different positions than one another. The one clock, it seems its hands seem to be moving in slow motion. One seems to be going backwards. A few seem to be close to each other, but nevertheless tolling in defiance to one another. Um, it's it's loud, but it's interesting too. Um, there are pedestrians finding themselves paces ahead or behind where they last stood. At one point, you stumble upon a corner of a plaza drenched in perpetual twilight, while the alley next to it kind of flickers between dawn and dusk. And there are paper boys that are delivering the same newspaper 6 times a day. Um, and it's interesting, it's fascinating. And Hawk, to you, it kind of reminds you of that dwarven city you passed through.
I was literally thinking the same thing potentially. Like a more advanced Beltharm.
Mm-hmm.
Just be further along our own timeline.
Why are there all these random gears glued onto the ground? I don't understand. They don't do anything.
They're aesthetic, Demir.
So, what would you like to do? Ichiri seems particularly interested in like some of the clocks and train whistles, and he's like starting to pull out his journal and making notes.
You would, the nerd.
So Eitri is the train type of autism, and Volk is very much not the train type of autism. Got it.
We knew this already. He's a wizard. Um, can are there any like I'm just kind of like curious because it doesn't are the streets like very occupied? Are there people in the buildings that we can see?
Yeah, there's people moving around. Their sense of fashion that seems very strange to you. Um, but there's people walking around, and you can see like they're bustling to and fro, and they too seem to be under the effect of the time distortions. You can see one woman wearing this very nice, like dark purple dress with a high collar and a nice bustle. And she has a strange little clockwork parasol that she's using. And as she walks nearby you, you blink, and then she's behind you and still walking forward.
Hmm. Demir just kind of watching her go, like, I don't know if it's fashionable to have your bum sticking out that far. Is there like just kind of as we're passing, are there any like of the like clockwork mechanisms or anything just like out in the open, or are they all kind of behind glass or something like that?
You can see, well, what kind of clockwork mechanism are you looking for specifically?
Basically anything that I can pick up, that like seems to be like interesting or even just like a pretty clock, like anything that is grabbable for Demir's little fingers, basically.
You don't see anything just out on the street, but there is a nice display for a pocket watch shop if you're interested.
Can I pick up one of the watches from the display?
Well, you'd have to go inside.
Oh, okay. I won't hold the group up, but Demir is definitely like kind of interested in um
That and the you can see the sign says in kind of loopy writing, Tobble and Grin's Curiosities. And then there's a smaller subtitle beneath it that says Time for Sale. uh, and there is
Demir is actually going to laugh at the time for sale and point it out to the group like, ha!
he's kind of sketching the sign.
Actually, it wouldn't be the worst idea to stick our head into a recognizable shop on this go round. See if there's anything helpful.
I wouldn't mind buying a little time.
And, we would actually recognize the technology, at least somewhat, as compared to our previous locale.
Are we going in shopping?
Don't know if that is the best use of our time. We are quickly encroaching upon our quarry, and who knows what kind of weird time trap we could get into if we go inside of that.
Fair.
I wouldn't want us to get stuck in the loop.
With this being so displaced, there's also a very real chance that whatever we try to take with us would just disappear.
Exactly.
All right. So you guys decide to move on?
Think so. Hawk and I are kind of slightly wondering something. The inlaid gear patterns on the armor, do they resemble what's seen here?
Yeah, I mean they look similar, but
Just similar. Got it.
like the same kind of style. Doesn't look like Tobble and Grin have made your armor specifically, but
I just meant like the city in general, but yeah.
yeah, I mean it looks like it could be from a similar era.
Interesting.
All right. So moving on, you are heading deeper into the city, trying to find your way to the next ring. There's a very large wall separating this steampunky area to whatever is on the next side. But the way to the next section is locked via a sound-sensitive device that only opens when a specific pattern of tones is played. However, the musical sequence has been corrupted and now only responds to logic and vibration and not to any normal melody. You can find a little plaque that says, "This vault sings in sequences of sense. Only a symphony of true statements will rattle it open." And nearby, a panel presents 5 tuning forks, each labeled with a musical note and a statement. You may strike the tuning forks in any order, but only 3 of the statements are true. Striking more than one false note causes the vault to seal harder, resetting the mechanism. So, let me grab this for you. So, the tuning fork labeled with an A note, only one of these statements is false. B note is labeled, the D note is false. C note, the E note is true. D note, the A note is false. And the E note, 2 of these statements are true. So you will need to strike the 3 that are telling the truth.
Hold on. 3. We have to play 3 true notes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, E and C contradict each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if D note is true, then that makes B note false, E note false, and A note false. So it's what? BCE?
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. So,
Wait, no.
so if
Eno is not contradicted by anything. It's only that 2 of the statements are true.
It
oh
doesn't
yeah,
specify
true. It doesn't
only.
say only.
Yeah, and C note says E note is true.
Okay, yeah. I will go
So
ahead
the
and
only
believe that
the one
then.
that is the most contradicted is A note.
Yeah, no, A can't be true. We need
And
2 false
therefore
statements. And relatedly, that means D has to be true because we know that A is false.
Yeah. So,
Wait.
and because B is calling out D, then and B is wrong, then that means that B is also false.
yeah.
Which means that C is true, which is that E is true, which does make sense. And E says there are 2 true statements, which is also true. So I think that's it.
Yeah, I think it's CDE.
Yeah, A and D contradict each other.
I think CDE too.
Yep, CDE.
Yeah, I think it's CDE.
It's incorrect.
Oh, what?
I will give you a hint, though. One of you said the correct combination before.
Did anyone else list out 3 letters besides me?
I think it was you, Lars. What were you saying earlier?
Fuck, I cannot remember. I have no recollection of it.
I think it's. Wait.
Oh, hang on a second. So if we're using A, D as accreditation of A, B is calling out D. So if A is actually true, then D is the only false note.
You're right. A note. Yeah.
Yeah.
BCE.
Because D note is false. That's true. Oh no, wait. No, that's not. Never mind. Sorry.
Because like, if we did C, D, E on the presumption that D is correct, and we know that E is true, and therefore we know that C is true, then D is the only one of those three that could have been false, which means that A is proven true, which means that B is also proven true because it's calling D false.
I do think that that does work if D is the only false one.
It's worth a shot. Also, BCE would be a hilarious answer to a time puzzle.
But yeah, so BCE makes it so. Yeah. What?
But I mean, if D is false, then A has to be true.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Okay, so you're suggesting A, B, C, E?
Yeah.
For
Just like
towns?
anything but D.
Near as I can tell, that is a true statement.
Wait. What if it's A that's true and D is false?
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying.
what we're saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You only need 3 notes.
Let's do BCE because it'd be funny to answer the because I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, let's try BCE. If that doesn't work, well then I'm gonna have to think.
BCE is correct.
Woo!
Yay!
Um,
Puns.
if I mean, yes, that wasn't on purpose, but I will take credit for it because it's funny. But
That's a good one.
like if A is true, only one of these is false, then 4 are true. But but E says that only 2 are true, which means they're in conflict. And if E is true, 2 of these statements are true, then we find 2 that align without contradiction. Then moving on to B and D, if D is false is true, then D is false. But if D says A is false, that means if D is false, then A is true. And then A is only one is false is not correct, but we already know that one is false, so A is false. C, E is true, but we already know that that we have E as true, so maybe then C would be true too. But eventually B, C, and E, with B and C both affirming E and D and A as false.
The D is false.
Wow.
Anyway. So next you guys find yourselves in what seems to be at first glance ruins of an ancient magical city with hanging gardens, broken coliseums, and stone temples carved with arcane symbols. But then it glitches and The buildings around you, the marble is new and pristine. Um, Gleaming white columns, temple spires, amphitheaters, beautifully carved, not yet worn by age. Uh, there are people moving about, philosophers, traders, orators. Um, but when you look at them directly, you can see them just fine. But out of the corner of your eye, you can see the half ruined buildings overtaken by vines as columns cracked and sun bleached by centuries of decay. It's beautiful, but it's fascinating. So, what would you guys like to do? You are getting closer to the heart of the city. You can also see, not too far away, the flying sentinel form of the cat dragon creature.
Can we see it?
The cat dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Might be time to wish our friends here luck.
Um,
Is it does the cat dragon, is it like guarding an area or is it just kind of roaming like Maxim was?
it seems to be sticking close to the inner section of the city. And Ravane, you get the impression that it knows exactly where you all are.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's rude.
Having rolled a 30 for perception.
Hey, only Vervain's allowed to do that.
But it's still sticking to the inner sector of the city.
I'm guessing that's where we need to be. Just, you know.
A slightly easier logic puzzle than the last one.
Do you guys dawdle? Or do you...
I don't think we should dawdle, but we still have the B crew with us, so um I have a feeling that the cat is going to be a bit of a barrier getting where we need to go.
Do you want us to try to intercept it here, or should we wait until we get closer?
I think it knows we're here no matter what.
It might be good to have it farther away, though.
Yeah. Do we want to try and lure it out?
We can certainly try. My thought is that if we intercept it closer, we may be able to assist in your confrontation with the indefinite, should we manage to be rid of the beast. However, if there is the possibility that we could, I don't know if he has the ability to summon it closer to him. It would probably prove difficult if he calls it close, and it leaves us to engage with you.
Yeah, that good point.
And I'm gonna run to the restroom while you guys.
Okay, I guess I'll ask it here. Does anybody have access to the seeming spell?
It's a good question.
I don't.
Because that would make for a pretty effective distraction to suddenly have two groups of the wild roses.
That is true, actually. That'd be really funny. That's
The creature of
Bard, Sork, Wizard, and Occultist. So out of all of us, the Marhaban siblings would be the ones to cast it, I think, if they even had it.
I feel like since the cat dragon is part of Mistra's get, I think that it might have the ability to see through certain magic.
Yeah. It's also a 5th level spell, so like honestly, like I don't think Demir has access to 5th level Bard spells. So Evie could potentially have it, but I don't
She
know if
does
she's did.
not.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
yeah.
I was looking at Levy too, but she's still only level 16.
Felix,
So
please. We don't want our girl to get decimated in the proper fight.
truly.
Good idea, though.
You know, just the brain doing brain things. As a player, Balk doesn't exactly have a whole lot she can do to help.
Hmm. Yeah, neither does Hawk. It's mostly concentration over here.
Well, that's not 100% true. Valk does have access to some subterfuge spells, but they're almost all more for protection or hiding as opposed to distractions.
Hmm.
I can use suggestion.
I do have a great way to lure it over, actually.
Oh,
Let's see. Let me get the exact wording on this. See the sheet to load. Come on. There we go. Hey, it's even the first level spell. Thunder Smite rings with thunder that is audible within 300 feet of you.
oh, it might be further away than that.
It might be, but still make one hell of a noise.
Still, I feel like maybe it wouldn't be so loud, but I feel like it would still hear it.
Yeah,
Especially if its perception can get up to the 30s.
that wasn't a kiboshing the idea. That was a
You'll say it might actually be out of the effective range. I understand.
troubleshooting. There we go.
I managed to roll 3 ones in a row on my test dice, so
Maybe not those
terrifying.
ones.
While you guys are watching, the cat dragon shimmers for a moment and then turns invisible.
Oh, that's not
Oh.
ideal.
Can
That's
Demir
not good.
still see it under magic eyes?
Too far of distance, correct?
Yeah, I only have 30 feet of magic eyes.
I think it's coming this way if wanted to draw it out further.
Yeah, I think
Medium
we should be
distance?
moving.
Yes, let's keep going.
I wonder. Okay. here's a thought, and like please feel free to tell me this is stupid. But would a fog cloud around us help? Because I figure that a big invisible beast would disrupt the fog.
Well, also, how fast can it fly? How quickly would it reach us? Yada yada.
Yeah. But I mean, it would disrupt the fog. We would have a sign that it's coming, but
It could
there's a
prevent
thought.
it from getting a surprise round, even if we do just initiate combat all of a sudden.
Not a
Also, if part of our group were to split off, it would hide the fact that we've split.
Yeah, especially if we set it up near a thing we can duck into.
Mhm. It's a 20-foot radius sphere of fog.
Does it follow us or stationary?
It's
I think it's
stationary.
stationary, but it's up to an hour.
I think we should probably keep moving.
Maybe. I think if we think it's getting close, but we pull that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we hear something or see something, then maybe.
Yeah. I can have it like ready to pop off if we need to split too.
Okay. Well, let's keep it in our back pocket.
All right. So you guys continue on
We're in the for lack of a better term, ancient Greece area still.
Yep.
I think we're waiting basically to see if we can't, if the cat dragon doesn't get close enough to us to basically split off from the other group. So
I think we're not waiting around. We're
we're
going
not waiting. We're going, but we are ready to split off from our group B whenever the cat dragon pops up so that we can make a clean getaway.
All right.
We're anticipating.
Are you hoping that the cat dragon will approach you in this quarter of the city, or how long are you willing to wait for it?
I think we don't want to wait until we get too close. I think like a medium distance rather than like way far out or way too close. Give us a little bit of time for summoning distance, but also like not too far that the group can come join us.
Okay. In that case, I would like a marching order.
Hold on. I have an idea, or at least the beginning of an idea. Lish. How much magical resources would it take to summon 2 large mounts?
Why do we need 2 large mounts?
Basically, put the B party on one, us on the other, and cover them. At which point, they wouldn't know which one to go after.
I
Except for
don't
then
think
it
I
might go
can
up.
summon anything big enough that can carry like 5 to 7 people.
Fair enough. I'm just trying to think,
Quick,
and it ain't
Lish, summon
working.
your plesiosaurus.
I they're huge. I don't know that they can carry. I mean, what is this? Large beasts, huge beasts. I don't know like the max of what a huge beast can carry, but if a dire wolf can carry 2 and it's large, then a huge would probably be able to carry like what, max 4 people.
Yeah. You
So
can fit 2 people into 5-foot squares, so you need something whose back has half the party size in 5-foot squares.
Uh-huh.
which is so goddamn big, so unbelievably big.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could summon owls and we could just, like, owl it up, but
Elephants are capable of carrying up to 10 people on their backs with the
Like-
right equipment.
in real life, or
Yes, in real life, that was the mounting party of a war elephant was 10 men. So
I don't
We
think
also don't have like a
I didn't bring a
elephant
platform
and
in
to
my
put on
bag.
it. Yeah.
So,
This also doesn't really help me with my marching order question from 10 minutes ago.
yeah, I don't know that that will be a realistic thing to do at the moment. I think I'll be up towards the front. I don't
Okay.
know if I need to be in the front, but I'm trying to keep an eye out for things coming, so.
I will stay in the middle so I can drop a fog cloud directly on us.
I'll be more
Okay.
frontwards.
Tobias will be in the rear watching behind and also having his bow at the ready.
Okay. Levy will probably be in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have a preference for Los Gibbities?
If we can go side to side with them almost, like, that would be nice, but probably behind us otherwise.
Sounds good.
Well, I don't know, actually. It would be best maybe for them to be in the front, because then we could break off from behind to the side or whatever without having to swap places, perhaps. What do you think, people?
I mean, either way, we're going to split off, so I don't know if it makes that much of a difference, but having them in front makes them a target.
Yeah. We kind of want them to be a target, right?
Yeah.
Although if we went 2 by 2, we could just split the rows.
I don't know if it makes that much of a difference, but I don't know.
It's just a situation where there's not really good options is part of the problem.
Uh-huh.
I will tell you what they decide their best marching order is, if you like.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Gregor, Vok, Itri, Ironshire, and then Zolzana.
Makes sense.
Honestly, I feel like that's more or less similar to our marching order.
I kind of want them behind us just in general, I guess.
Sounds good.
That way we can protect them if we have to.
All right. Um, so you walk through the streets and try to find your way to the next sector, but the way it seems to be built is that, unlike in the previous areas, there aren't as many walls here blocking you from the next sector. It's just like that there are buildings in the way. And so you're trying to kind of like walk around and find an area that will let you through when you find yourselves in a forum, a grand forum of some sort. There are several people here. There is a guard, a widow, a prisoner, an orator, and an archivist. The guard is watching over an argument. The widow is alternating between crying hysterically and staring blankly off into space. The prisoner is next to the guard with his hands tied behind his back and a gag in his mouth. The orator is arguing passionately against the scholar, the archivist, who seems to be aware in the sense of the time loop situation, keeps kind of breaking off of his argument, insisting that they've had this argument before. But there is an open door to the next sector.
We hear kind of generally what they're arguing about, aside from it having happened again.
Perception check.
"22.
22. The orator is arguing for the use of modify memory magic to end suffering and insists that the prisoner is a hero. But the scholar is stating that it's better to feel the grief than to move on like nothing happened, and keeps bringing up something known as the true law.
Interesting.
Do we have to go? I assume we have to go through the arguing crowd to get through the door.
There's enough space, you could go around them if you want.
I mean, we can try. Do you think we should try?
I kind of want to hear what they're arguing about.
Well, their argument doesn't matter if everyone phases out of reality, so.
No, things matter in philosophy far past the actual argument happening at this one time.
And yet we couldn't stop to buy a watch.
Well, no, we aren't going into a shop here, are we?
If you're desperate for a fancy gear-laden watch, I'm sure if you give me a couple of months, I can make you one.
Besides, they're just on our way. Don't have to go and talk to them. Just kind of start heading through.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you engage with the people at all, or are you going towards the open door to the next sector?
I want to listen some more, but I don't think that I will directly ask any questions.
Okay. As I said, there's only a handful of people here. They are all Elvish, I will note, and they are arguing in Elvish. The orator and the scholar are continuing to argue. The scholar is saying that there's a true law. He keeps referring to that, but he doesn't specify what it is. And the orator is arguing that the prisoner has helped the widow.
Well, what matters
the
is
true
consent.
Law of nature that he is arguing.
Could you repeat that, Demian?
What is the true law of nature that they're arguing? Like, what is his crime? Can we tell from the argument?
Insight check.
I also roll an insight.
Yeah, go for it.
17.
Way better than mine. I think I'm a 9.
Okay. Demir, you're not really sure what's up with this like philosophy. But Vervain, you get the impression that it is illegal to cast memory altering spells on the populace.
Hmm.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, guess they'll just have to keep talking and negotiating about that one. Couldn't be me. Whistle, whistle. We'll just keep meandering through, I guess.
Okay. The widow is standing close to the other exit, and as I said, she's alternating between crying hysterically and kind of staring off blankly into space.
What is she looking at?
She roll an insight check.
She's looking up to the empty sky and suddenly hear her say, "Made you look."
Could be. 15.
15. She looks, I mean, she doesn't seem to be looking at anything in particular. When she's crying, like her face is covered, and when she's not crying, she's kind of just looking more or less at the rest of the scene.
Huh. Sus. Crying lady, that's a trap. Do they try and stop us as we pass through?
No, but the uh, guard looks like she's tired of watching the argument and starts to get ready to execute the prisoner.
Ruh-roh.
Rip.
I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, not my argument.
All right. Do you go to pass through the doorway to exit the forum?
Well, that's the goal.
Okay.
Unless if, this is where Kitty decides to attack.
Mm-hmm.
You step through and find yourselves once again at the entrance of the forum. The
Ah, son of
argument
a bitch.
has started from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great.
I guess it is our problem then.
Oh, we could do the quick solution.
I don't know if that's the actual solution.
Well, what's the worst that can happen? We get stuck here again?
I know they may be looping, but I'd rather them not suffer while they're looping.
Yeah, being stuck in the middle of your own execution has to be kind of a real shitty loop to be experiencing.
A real bummer, one might say.
First time.
If I remember correctly, the orator was the one that had some degree of awareness that this was a loop.
The scholar.
The scholar. Like looking at the scholar, I mean, like, honestly, Demir, like, might wave at the scholar and be like, "Do you remember us?"
It kind of breaks off his conversation. Do you say this in common or elven?
They've been arguing in Elvish, so probably
Yes.
Elvish.
Um, he kind of breaks off his conversation and says, "You look familiar. You,
Okay. That's good. You just saw us before?
and he kind of glances over towards the exit.
Yeah, okay. So we're definitely in a loop.
And he kind of like looks at you all and then kind of goes back to the argument.
So do you all need a memory erased or help killing this man? Or
What
Settle
is
this
going
argument.
on here?
The orator speaks up. This man is a hero. He helped to save this young woman here and points towards the widow who is crying again.
Saved her how?
Why, he removed her suffering.
Took her memory of her passed away? Is that it?
No, I think he's implying that he killed her husband.
Uh, they both look kind of baffled. The scholar says, "No, that is not the case at all. He removed her memories. It is illegal according to the true law to modify the memories of the general populace, as it can be used for nefarious means." And the orator speaks up again. She was suffering. He, being a mage of talent, offered to assist.
So he took her memory.
Broke the law.
Tobias will lean towards Demir or Lish and ask one of them, could you ask them what was the cause of her suffering? Was it past trauma? Was it the death of a loved one? What exactly brought about her suffering? Because if she's not in a psychologically well enough state, she could be influenced into taking drastic choices where she would not normally consent if she was of sound mind.
What were the memories?
Demir is also going to translate Toby's question.
The scholar speaks up. The memories themselves are irrelevant, and at the same time, the orator says, "We do not know, but clearly she's for the better for it."
Looks over at crying woman.
I was about to say.
She's staring off into space now.
Even if contracted, breaking the law is breaking the law, but I do have objections to the fact that it's what's the shorthand? Corporal punishment?
Capital.
Capital, thank you.
Well, could it be reversed?
I mean, they're
The death of
her
the person.
memories. If she wanted to give them away, it is perfectly her, within her realm to do so. She consented to it, didn't she?
She did indeed. and he did her a favor. Therefore, he should not be executed for his crimes. And at this point, the guard standing next to the prisoner is looking more and more impatient and begins to set him up for execution again.
Can one of you take away her weapon?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll be here again in a moment.
Ugh, to reset this entire conversation is awfully dreary.
As you say that, the prisoner is executed and you find yourselves back at the entrance.
Lish like raises his hands and like claps into his sides like, does nobody listen to what I Ugh. Lish will start walking up towards the group.
All right.
Yep. Joint clomping on up.
Hawk following along closely, but still staying near Toby so you can translate.
Now this conversation wouldn't need to happen if a giant fucking wolf came crouching through it, would it? Be something more interesting to talk about. He says this in Elvish to them.
The two men arguing both look at you in confusion. And the scholar says, "You look familiar."
Hey, I'll address the widow in her more lucid moment and say, Madam, what memories were taken from you? What sorrows?
She kind of like wipes at her tears and says, I can't recall. It's just, my home feels so quiet now.
Mm. Can I go over to the prisoner?
Yeah, he's kneeling on the ground. As I said, with his hands tied behind his back and a gag in his mouth. He's kind of like glowering at this whole situation.
Can I reach down and pull the gag out of his mouth?
You do so, and the guard starts to point her spear at you.
She can. Am I able to
Can't
pull
we
it out?
talk to him?
Persuasion check, Demir.
Avery's just like, my favorite words.
That is a 16.
16. She kind of hesitates. Why?
Just curious. We're getting everyone else's perspective. May as well get his.
Unless you have a reason to hide what he's done.
You just walked in here a moment ago. What do you mean you're gathering perspectives?
Should we not be able to hear his crimes from his own mouth? Or are you
It is a public forum after all.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of sighs and says, very well, but any wrong moves, and your lives will be forfeit.
I'm sure you will try.
You reach down and remove the gag from the prisoner's mouth.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hear it then. If she can't remember, you must. You were there.
I was. Look, I'm just a mage. She asked me to remove some of her memories. I did so. I only have the bad luck of getting caught.
What memories?
Something about a lost kid. Don't matter to me. I don't look at them.
We'll look at the rest of the people in the argument and gauge what they are responding to this information with.
They seem to be too caught up in their own argument to have been paying attention.
And she came to you of her own free will.
That she did.
Did she pay you?
I mean, she offered a whole sack of gold.
Offered, meaning you didn't accept?
Call it a gift out of the kindness of my heart.
Okay, that's hinky. Valk doesn't say that in Elvish. She turns and says that in, I guess, common.
Do you know this woman?
Can't say I
Like-
do. I mean, I know a name. But not much
What
more
is
than
it?
that.
What is her name?
Arave Ravathara.
That one we recognize.
Well, it seems to me like you all are going to be stuck here for a very long time, discussing over the finer points of this.
Before he can respond, the prisoner like glances back at the guard and starts to try to take off running. She throws her spear and hits him dead in the back, and the whole scene resets.
Go fucking take that woman's spear away from her. Clearly, she's not using it for anything within the judicial system here.
Well, obviously the gentleman dying resets us, so do we want to make sure he doesn't die, or
The dying is the problem, more so than whether or not he's guilty of anything, because he's clearly guilty of breaking a law. Not up to us to determine what is not or is justifiable here. What are we gonna do within this time loop? Make them change the law? Ha!
well, we can always get him free.
I was going to say we could try and help him escape, maybe.
I'm all for that. This one, I'm going to start walking forward again and point at the guard and say, like, this one seems to have a vendetta against him, regardless of what the outcome of the actual philosophy or legal question is.
Excuse
Which
me?
I don't particularly find to be well within your actual role in this situation as a guard and not an executioner. I will kind of like push her chest back a little bit.
She looks pissed.
Don't care. Like, regardless of the philosophy being discussed here, it is not your job to be carrying out the extermination without it being settled by the law. Is that not correct?
My duty here is to keep an eye on the prisoner while these two debate. Should he commit any further untoward actions, or should the argument come to a conclusion, I am to act.
And you are the one that decides when the conversation is done, is that correct? Your temper flares, it seems, and you take matters into your own hands.
I
Quite
don't see what business it is of yours.
well, considering that we've watched you do it at least 3 times now.
Excuse me?
Hmm.
Do you even have orders, or are you acting on your own?
I'm following the orders of my superiors.
Which one of these people here is your superior?
None. I am the highest ranked here.
Oh, well, then I see. No accountability. Hashtag ACAB. Spear
Hashtag ACAB.
Well, do we want to try obvious answer number 2?
Which is what? Who?
Her?
The guard.
I mean, you can do what you want.
I think it.
I don't know that it'll help. I just want her to back up from the guy.
We're stuck in this loop until whatever happens, and we need to get going. Hold on.
Eitri speaks up at this point. Not to say, for casting a simple spell that was requested by the recipient, it does seem a bit extreme to execute.
Yeah, hang on a
Exactly.
second.
It's her memories if she wants them gone.
Hold on. Hawk marches off to the two debaters. Excuse me, moment of your time, gentlemen.
You speaking in Elfish?
Yeah, of course.
They kind of pause and look at you, and the scholar says, I've seen you somewhere before.
And I've seen you somewhere before, but that's neither here nor there. uh, are you aware of the circumstances of this erasure?
What sort of circumstances?
The reason for which it was performed at all?
That is not for us to know.
Yes, it is, because it directly ties into what his punishment should be, does it not?
The question we are debating here is the legality of modifying a memory of the populace.
Is she the populace? She alone?
She is a member of our city's citizens. Of course she is.
Then let me post the following. If the populace requests for something against the law, and the law is designed to protect the populace, should the lawbreaker be punished?
The orator speaks up again and says, this man has done what he was asked to do, and he has assisted in ridding this woman of memories that were causing her suffering.
It should
I
also
don't
be
think he should be
mentioned.
punished at all.
It should also be mentioned that she was willing to pay him, and he denied payment.
I don't think that he should be executed for his crimes. If he is assisting her, he has helped her, and therefore, intent or otherwise, payment or otherwise, he has done her a service.
That's a good point. So would you say that she is also guilty of the crime, considering the fact that she what's the term? Solicited the criminal activity, so she should be executed as well? Or are we going to agree that this entire thing is ridiculous?
The scholar says perhaps she should be executed.
Well, now you're just. Do you
Being
care more about the
bloodthirsty.
law than the lives of these two people?
Could you
If you
repeat
were
that?
beneath the chopping block, would you petition for yourself to be executed?
I've committed no crime.
But if you had, would you?
Well, I am not the sort of person that would commit a crime,
But what if you were, is my question.
but I'm not.
Think proverbial, hypothetically. You're a scholar, aren't you? You should be used to hypotheticals.
Of course.
So, hypothetically, if you were this man, you had committed this crime, but it was asked of you, you were offered payment, and you refused, and you were caught. Would you petition for your own head to be chopped off?
Well, I would not petition for myself. That would be the job of another scholar.
And a fine job you're doing. Listen, don't you think execution is a little extreme for something that was requested, something that was done in good nature?
Persuasion check.
Oh boy.
Honestly, I'm here on the widow should be executed. She did pay for and solicit a crime here.
As you know, persuasion is not my forte. We'll see how this goes. I haven't done rollies to figure out which of the dice favor me, so fingers crossed. Okay, cool. 21.
21. I do suppose it seems a little extreme. And the orator like jumps in again.
It's like, yes, exactly.
Exactly. He is a hero. He has helped her. Regardless of if he has broken the law or otherwise.
Well, I wouldn't call him a hero, merely provider of a service. I think perhaps there are three options here. You include the widow herself in this execution, this persecution, whatever. You let the man go, or you reach a compromise and lessen his punishment.
The two of them, the orator and the scholar, discuss with one another, and the scholar departs briefly to retrieve the widow, who looks confused. And the scholar says, "These strangers have made the claim that you sought out the services of this person. This Nilian Trisis. Is that true?" And she says, "I believe so, yes." The two of them continue to argue for a bit, now with the widow closer. And it's at this point that you guys notice that there is a podium with which you guys can deliver a sentence.
Well, I guess we're changing local laws. Although I don't necessarily trust Mir to give this oration. No offense.
If there's enough hesitation, Hawk will step up.
None taken.
And he says that those of provably good and innocent intent should not be punished with death.
But those who break the law should not go unpunished entirely.
Of course. Let him lock him away if you must, and let him think on what he has done. But do not kill him.
Or perhaps a man as heroic as he could god damn, what's the official term? Abate? No. Do public service, since he did a crime against the public, but at the request of the public.
That seems fitting to me. A man of his talent should not go wasted, should not languish in a cell somewhere, perhaps. If he wishes to aid the public, then let him. But let him do so underneath watch.
And for the widow.
I think perhaps she has suffered enough, but if she has gold to spare, perhaps collect his portion.
The guard looks a little annoyed, but nods and helps the prisoner stand up and starts to walk him away. Two orators shake hands, and with that, the scene vanishes.
Hawk sort of just like heaves out a sigh from lungs he doesn't have, just like, oh.
Well
Oh, it
spoken,
would
Hawk.
How do you people do that?
It ain't fun, but you appear to have the makings of a good lawyer.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. I'll choose to see it as a compliment.
I intended it as a compliment.
All right. So you all are free to continue if you so choose.
Nah, I think we'll linger.
Nah, let's go.
No, I think we're going to set up shop here in this forum. I think we should start selling little trinkets.
Sounds good.
Hawk starts sprinting away from the sight of his inevitable political ascent.
Rule this city with an iron fist.
I'm made of brass.
Hey, it's free city.
It won't be for long. Fuck, bad jokes.
God.
So, you all head through the gateway to the next sector. And it's interesting because it's almost like it takes your eyes a minute to really comprehend what you're seeing. But it seems to be an exact replica of the Turning Spire, except not abandoned. There are people moving around, mostly elvish, but some of other races as well. The buildings are kind of cramped and close together. But there's life here in a way that you haven't seen it on the prime material plane. It's very clear that this is where all of the people have been taken from the Turning Spire. I would like anyone who'd like to roll a perception check.
Sure. 14.
Tobias ain't perceiving shit. He rolled a 4.
Aww.
24.
It's okay, we'll tell you what we see, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, Volk's with you there, buddy. That would be a 5.
Right. Well, those of you that got above a 13, notice that while there are, yes, like normal people around. There are also strange beings walking among them. They're very tall, um, their forms kind of shimmering with constellations of arcane symbols that kind of pulse just beneath their skin, almost like a living spell book. Their eyes are kind of glowing with shifting magical energies. Some have like a deep sapphire blue, others pale silver, luminous violet. Some are wearing robes or armor woven from starlight and spell thread etched with runes from every known school of magic. The air seems to kind of shimmer around them with unseen energy. Um, and these creatures are very beautiful and but at the same time you can notice that they have the symbol of the rune of the indefinite hovering right above their foreheads like a third eye. And they seem to be just kind of walking around. Um, and as you guys watch, one of the citizens, which seemed to be in the middle of like stacking produce, kind of pauses and starts like hyperventilating and saying, I I've been here before. I've done this before. And like almost looking like he's having a panic attack when two of these beings like approach and just hold him by his shoulders and hold him still until he blinks and goes back to the time loop that he's back in.
Huck points out one of these rune-covered spectral guards to Tobias and Vought, kind of like on the wait, did you guys see that? And it just happens to be one of the ones who helps calm down this cabbage keeper guy. So like he's like, look at that. Then this scene unfolds. He's like, oh shit.
Well, it would appear the indefinite is using these people as set dressing.
I wonder if this is where everyone in that town went. If he
I
took them
just
all with
assumed
him.
they all died.
I suppose if he's bringing back his wife, then even they wouldn't be beyond death to him.
I mean, I suppose you need people around. But it doesn't seem like whatever time loop or freeze that he wants to have, it doesn't seem to be working universally.
He's addressing a symptom while continuing to be the problem.
Excellent point.
So it's at this point that in front of on one of the buildings in front of you, uh you can see the large form of the cat dragon land and look directly at you all. And I'd like you all to roll for initiative.
Here we go!
Kitty! Bad kitty.
Old buddy, old pal.
Okay. Everyone get roll 20 open.
Yeah. I'm a fog.
Fog. I mean, we did say we'd save it for when the cat shows up.
It was technically a held action.
Just like, it appears and Demir's just like, fuck
She
that,
was
and then like
holding
drops
it.
a smoke bomb.
She said she was.
The cat lands and Demir just nervous fart, fog cloud.
Like a squid. Oh,
Cuddlefish Demir.
man, sometimes I miss the weapon of warning. Only kind of kidding.
Ooh, Aaron sure rolled shit for initiative.
So did I!
Speaking of rolling shit for initiative, with both advantage and ads for magic items. You'd think I'd be able to, roll above a 15 once. But
I mean,
nope.
15's still pretty good.
Oh no,
Well-
I rolled an 11. I just don't think I've ever rolled above a 15.
Well, y'all, Levy rolled a 1.
Oh no.
So, this is great.
She got started by the fog cloud and tripped.
I got a 20. Non-natty.
All right, hold on. I'm dealing with all the million NPCs.
Do I have banish? Oh, I don't have banishment. Prepped.
Banishment, you say?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I also don't have that prepped. Actually,
Just a
no,
th-
I do. Okay.
you could just go be gone, kitty.
Bold of you to assume that I will ever beat, that I'll ever pose a DC on Avery that will succeed.
Well, I can help.
It would be absolutely hilarious if this was the one time that it worked.
Yeah,
So far, my track record is like 0 to like 25 or something. I haven't kept count.
Listen, I'm telling you, Hawk is going to get that shadow arrow off in our last.
wait, I thought
yes,
it was
the
Toby
last
getting
turn
the
of the game.
shadow arrow off.
Toby doesn't have a shadow. He has like a cool, sick ass blood arrow.
Okay, Vervain.
30-20.
Okay, Demir.
17, Levy 3.
Okay. Tobias.
18.
Hawk.
10.
Aaron. Aaron.
Dove?
Aaron got a 13. I think he
Okay.
stepped away.
Volk.
11.
She got kidnapped by Kiss. I knew this would happen. They
Happens
needed a
to all
fifth
of
band
us
member.
one time or another. So here's how this is going to work. So you guys are, I'm assuming, not going to want to waste your spell slots.
We're
on
gonna
this.
try and break off as quickly as we can.
So your goal is to get off of the map to the north somewhere. You can see all the little alleyways here. But once you are off of the map, that will mean that you are safe and you will be done.
DM, we can't see the map. I'm only seeing the
Floating islands.
land drawings. Yeah.
There
I was
we
like,
go.
am I the only
There we
one?
go.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Holy shit.
There he is.
The kitty.
Line.
So,
Bad kitty.
I will say again, because Roll20 was being funky. Your goal is to get off of the map to the north. Once you have departed, the assumption is you are safe. And you will no longer be able to take any actions. The others, their job is to try to get rid of the kitty, to provide you guys enough cover so that you can escape.
An aura. We can need to.
Any questions?
Do we have our fog cloud up?
No, because that was the held action from before the whole thing with the forum.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where is this?
Reminder.
Dragonflight!
Reminder, anyone starting within 5, 10, 5.
I think it's like 5.
Yes, within 5 feet of me gets 10 feet additional movement.
So Toby and Demir.
Well, it can also become helpful
Well, it can
later
become
in the
someone
fight.
else, yeah. But like for this first round, it's Toby and Demir. At least until you move.
Okay. First up is Captain Zilzana. She is going to kind of go around over here so that she's closer to Volk, as close as she can get, and she's going to try to shoot at the dragon cat. That is a miss. And one I have to double check.
Man, I really hope that we don't end up getting Zilzana killed.
I'm sure she'll survive.
Her and Eitri are probably the two that would feel the worst about getting dead on this outing.
Nah, I think we should kill a tree, actually.
Okay, that is a definite hit for Zilzana. And she does a whopping 9 piercing damage to it.
Yeah.
Go, Space Lady, go!
Okay. So that's it for Zilzana's turn. I have to find the right fucking tab. It is now Eitri's turn. Eitri is going to, let's see. I think he is going to cast Far Step on himself. And where are you going to go, Eitri? He is going to go here and then run along the side here. And then since the Far Step is a bonus action, he's going to double dash. And wind up here. So he's gonna try and go around to get at the kitty. Now it is Kitty's turn. Let's see. More measurements. Everyone loves it. Oh, perfect.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That is uh-oh.
I feel like we're about to get Akira Orbital Lasered.
I would like let's see. I would like Vervain, Hawk, Irin, Zolzana, and who looks the most threatening? I guess Volk, to make dexterity saving throws.
Good boy.
Well, pros and cons. It ain't a charm based spell.
We're all well within. Well, all the players are well within Hawk's +3 radius. So add that to your calculations.
Is this a spell effect?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good thing to ask still.
15 for me.
17.
The delivery on that was beautiful, Dove. Thank you.
Those both fail.
I'm sorry, was that a
figured.
dexterity throw you said?
Yeah.
But you'll ask.
That's a 10 for Demir
Yeah.
and a 11 for Levy.
I don't think I called Levy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
18 Aaron's
I think the ones I said were
It was
Lish, Hawk, Irin,
Volk and Zilzana.
Zilzana,
Yeah.
Valk. Oh no, maybe it was Levy.
I
was
don't
doing the
think
ones
Levy was mentioned at all. Pretty sure it was the three frontliners, Zilzana and Valkyria.
Well, that means there's an extra one, so I guess that can go to Demir since you already rolled.
Okay.
yay.
Sweet. Equality. I got a 13.
Fail.
Well,
Yeah, I had a feeling.
if everyone's taking damage, at least everyone will need to heal.
Okay. So that's 47 force damage as the cat kind of just lets out a piercing screech and bolts fly out of its mouth, shooting each one of you. So mark that down for Susanna.
Bad kitty.
Packing up arcane hairballs.
You're gonna get the spray can for that one.
Casting create water on the cat.
Um.
Oh, wait. Demir, do you have a cucumber on you? Instant fight win right there.
All right. That's it for Kitty's turn. Vervain.
Wait, how much damage was it? Was it
47.
47. Okay, I missed that somehow. Wait. Ow.
I'm going to. Oh, well, let's see here. I guess I'll go up the same way that Itru did. But I don't know. Eitri got a shot off, didn't he?
Hmm?
Did Eitri get a shot off of anything?
Not yet. He is positioning himself so he can better cast Dark Star.
Uh, What do you think, gang? Am I following Eitri or am I going and splitting up so that we can take a faster route through the center?
Well, I suppose we could drop damage as we're getting the hell out of Dodge, but the priority kind of really does need to be the hell out of Dodge, unfortunately.
I was thinking about going under the little triangle area and then up this way. Just to go faster. There's not a lot of cover, but
You're also one of the, what, 2 people in the party that has hit points out the wazoo?
only if I'm shape changed.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Shape changed, so.
Well, unless if you want to wrestle the kitty.
Not necessarily want to do that with my spell slots.
Well,
Yeah.
then maybe get to the edge of or get to the north edge and provide covering fire for people as they run.
Now, double dashing just to get up in here might be best. Kind of leaves you in the open. That might be best to go to the side. I'm gonna go towards Eitri and just look for coverage with him.
All right.
But I can see it right now, right? I just got hit by it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's up ahead of you on top of the roof.
We could try casting polymorph on it.
Save that for turning the indefinite into a corgi.
You can cast it more than once.
True.
I think it would probably work better on this than on the indefinite because it's a wisdom save. Yeah, I'm gonna pop off a polymorph at it as I duck around the corner here. I need a whiz 20.
It's got immutable form. The artifact is immune to any spell or effect that would alter its form.
Okay.
Thank you for telling us that before that happened.
No, it happened.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
Well, you can try. Here
Now
we go.
we know.
Pay for effort.
All right, I am.
You can
moving.
say thank you, Matthew Mercer, for that one.
I'm over here, and that's my turn.
Cool. Tobias.
Okay. How much is the extra movement that is given by Valk's aura or whatever?
Just 10 feet.
10 feet. Okay. And does that apply if Tobias double dashes? So, or is it only 10 feet for the first movement and then the second movement is normal movement?
You get 10 feet for your round if you start your round within 5 feet of me.
Okay.
So have fun.
So it does get affected by dash. So if he's Toby's base 30-foot movement speed, right? I don't think he got any
45.
bonuses. 45. Okay. So if that's not including Valk's thing, which I don't think it is, it's 55. You could double that to 110. If all you want to do is move.
I was just gonna have Tobias fucking book it.
Yeah, fair.
Basically following Lish's plan of going into that alley. So I'm just making sure that I mark correctly. Okay, so there's there, and then 55. DM, would you say this is an accurate measurement, or would I need to go like slightly to the side and then up?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Okay. I just want to make sure so I'm not like over moving. Oh, I let go. Was it there or was it? Fuck. Was it here or was it down below?
I think it was right here.
Okay. I forgot where it was. Tobias just fucking full runner sprint zips over there and like presses himself up against the building that the cat is on, so along this wall, so it's he's
So
out of sight.
This is a platform right here. You're kind of in an alley next to this building here.
Oh, there isn't a solid wall for that?
Yeah, it's like a half wall. Like we got
no, I see what you're talking about.
Here,
okay.
Like you can see the stairs going up.
Okay, so that's kind of like it's not a or no, because so it's like the balcony of a upper floor for the building.
No, it's like there's stairs going up, and then it's got a slightly raised foundation.
Okay. But not taking what I'm seeing with the boards here and stuff as truth.
Yeah. This is the map I found.
Cool. No. That's all good. Then does that mean Tobias could stand here?
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel it might be better to have him be standing there, because he'll still be able to get off the platform here easy enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll
you
have
can be
him
on there if you want to be.
So that way he's pressed up against the wall to this building, so he's out of the cat's sight for the most part. So it'll have a harder time getting an angle on him.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be Tobias's turn since he used his action to dash.
Cool. It's Vox's turn now. Let's see.
Oh, Bach, not Volk. Ugh.
No.
Big fuck Lou.
So she is going to double dash to get just about here. And she's gonna start her rage. So little magical sparks are gonna be flying off of her. And she's like pulled out her axe and she just fucking bellows up at it. Come and face me, you fucking coward!
I love her.
So that's it for her. Demir.
All right. I'm going to move up here. That's my 30 feet. And that way I can see, I don't think I can see each tree, but I can see Lish and I can see Toby.
Yes.
And if I'm measuring correctly, Toby, you are just out of reach. I am so sorry. I am going to pop off a mantle of inspiration as my bonus action. So up to 6 creatures that I can see. So I am going to choose the wild roses. I don't think I can choose myself, but I can choose the wild roses and who's this? Is that Aaron Sure?
Aaron Sure is down here.
Oh. Sure. I'll give it to Aaron Sure too. Everyone can move up to their movement as a reaction without provoking attacks of opportunity. That's my 30 feet movement bonus action, and then you know what? I will
Aaron Sure is gonna take that action forward. That reaction.
Can I duck under here? This is like a little booth area.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to duck under there.
That's where you saw the cabbage man.
Yeah. And I think that's my action, bonus action, movement. Yeah, that's what I got.
I was actually gonna ask, is Demir's magic eyes an action or is it just a thing she does?
It's just a thing I do.
Can you check for me if Voklu's axe is magical?
Is
Cockle ask in character, yeah.
Yeah, is
let me check.
And also it's movement speed as a reaction, right?
Yes. So you
I'll
can
use to move forward.
Excuse me, it's a mall and it's not magical.
Perfect.
You can use your reaction to move up to your speed.
All right. I will is Levy gonna move up at all?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. If she's within 30 feet of me, I can still cover her with my aura. Otherwise, I will use my reaction to move 30 feet straight ahead, closer to the front line. I'm gonna help buy some time and maybe get a buff or two out.
Yeah, Levy's moved.
I've got a very fun idea.
Levy were to step to the side, she would then get 10 movement on her next turn, as would Hawk.
True.
Oh, cool. Also, I just realized that Demir did get additional 10 movement from Volk. So actually, in theory, Aaron or Toby would have been within range because I got the additional 10 feet and I was only 10 feet off from including Toby.
So would you like me to move Aaron Sure back?
Yeah, if we could give it to Toby and move Aaron Sure back.
All
Sorry,
right.
Aaron.
Tobias, you can move your movement as a reaction if you like.
Same for Vervain if he hasn't.
I will take advantage of that.
If I haven't what?
You get a reaction to use your full movement speed without provoking an attack of opportunity.
Dope. Will do.
Bruh, Tobias is almost out of here.
Well, it means you could provide some covering fire for the rest of the party quite easily.
All right. Demir, is that it for you?
Yep, that's it.
Aaron.
Okay, this will be fun. Aaron will do a quick to Demir, like we're just running. Okay. And having got him that assurance, he'll drop a good luck back over. And then he is going to, first of all, he's going to be dashing, which is going to take him up to here. And then he is also going to, come on. There we go. Gonna rage to do a pounce, which will take him up here. Yeah, he'll just squeeze around Toby real quick. And I think, yep. And that'll be his turn. Mhm.
All right. It is now Gregor's turn. He is going to move up as much as he can, which isn't very far because he's in the way fucking back. But that's fine. Let's see, where are you? Gregor. He is going to use his action to channel divinity for his sacred weapon, meaning that he can add his charisma modifier to attack rolls. And it's also making his Holy Avenger glow like a lightsaber. And he, let's see, yeah, there's not much more he can do at the moment, but he's ready and he's got his lightsaber. Volk.
Double checking one thing real quick. Because I'm pretty sure I have the ability to do this. And I think it would be worth doing it. Because they'll be able to recharge most of this. Okay, it's just 2 sorcery points. Okay. I'll be able to recharge that. I am going to drop a buff, I think. A low-level buff on my way out. Just to, give everyone the best chance possible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck. Am I able to hold my action and bonus action until after both Hawk and Levy go?
Sure.
Okay, so what my action will be, or so I'm gonna run forwards, use Quicken Spell to bonus action a spell on Voklu, and then keep running. And that'll be after both Hawk and Levy, so they can have the extra 10 feet of movement. So, action being held.
Okay. Hawk.
Okay. I'm realizing that. Actually, no. We're all pretty much everyone who has yet to escape, other than Lish, is over here. Yeah. Oh wait, no, he's got. Well, Toby and Aaron are pretty safe at this point. All right. Here's my plan. Let's see. Ah, perfect. Don't go too far in. All right. How do I cancel? There we go. First up, Hawk's gonna move up for a second and be like, Voklu, what is he, something sick? And he's gonna cast Elemental Weapon on her mall. We're gonna do cast level 3.
All right.
We're going to choose. What do we think is a? I don't think there's a chance that it resists to like most of the possible energy types on the list. I think to be safe, I'm going to go with lightning because that's also thematic. Let's be real.
It's thematic and also is typically one of the ones that
So
doesn't get resisted.
yeah. So for 1 hour, Voklu's Maul does 1d4 lightning and has +1.
Either
right.
that or thunder.
At least,
She is stoked.
Hell yeah.
Oh, she's going to be very
wanted,
stoked.
I've wanted to do this ever since he became a paladin, but the auras were way too useful. You can only have the one concentration slot. Right.
Mood.
Yeah, it's all right though. With that done, he's going to duck it to the alley and say to the roses, last one out, come with me. Because I've still got the Cape of Mountebank, so unless I need to save my charge for the indefinite, which I don't suppose I'll have to do, I could use it to instantly get me and one other person off the map. At least I think I can take one person with me. I'm pretty sure it's just dim door, and there's no restrictions on it. I'll have to double check. Either way, I don't have a good use for my bonus action, so that's my turn.
Cool. It is now Aaron Shear's turn. Boyo is going to, let's see, quick measure.
Okay, yeah, it's no restrictions on the dim door, so I can take one person with me.
Going to go here, and then he is going to Misty Step to get up onto the roof over here. And he is going to pull out his Rapier of Seasons, which is set to winter at the moment. Levy.
Okay. So, Hawk, that's a really good idea. Would you want to take Levy, or should Levy just try and GTFO?
Up to you. Either way, we can get Levy if we can get Levy or Demir like all the way the heck out on Hawk's next turn. Uh, I would say if you want to do that, or if you, I'd say if you want to do that, choose the one that you think has the least movement, perhaps. But I mean,
Levy
I think
only
they're
has
pretty on.
standard movement. Demir
Yeah.
has tricks up her sleeve.
Right. And then
Demir
there's
has an
also
additional 10 at the moment.
And so does Levy. So I can get like
No,
I can
sorry.
get-
Levy
Yeah,
has
Levy
it at the
does, yeah.
moment, not Demir.
Yeah. I can get Levy like up here. That's 70 feet. Or I can get her right next to Hawk.
Tinder's 400 feet or something, right?
Yeah. It's like 1,000. You would be out.
It's like a lot.
Mhm.
Hang on.
I mean,
yeah,
like, I feel like-
it's 300 feet. No, it is 500 feet. Okay.
Yeah. Because Levy has the last initiative, I'm gonna have her go over to Hawk. If that sounds reasonable to everyone?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Okay. Wherever Hawk is, he's blending in. I can't find him.
I'm over
He's
here.
over here.
I'm in the alley to the
there.
right of Valkyria.
That is accurate.
And since she is not simply running, I suppose she can pop a spell off at the cat while she's walking over to Hawk. So she's gonna do an Eldritch Blast just because it's a cantrip and it's easy to do.
Why not?
So she has 3 Eldritch Blasts. All right. Does a 19 hit?
19 hits.
Then all 3 hit. Excellent. Roll her damage. That is 10 points of force damage as she is walking over to Hawk.
Okay.
Drive-by blasting.
Yeah, just in drive-by Eldritch Blast. And that's Levy's turn.
Okay, so that's my held action then. So I have 40 feet, no, 80 feet of movement to get up the alleyway. And as I run past, I am going to use Quicken Spell on enlarge person to make Vaklu truly big. 20,
At
25,
medium
45.
sized.
Shh.
Wait, I forgot she could do that. That's awesome.
Okay, so I'm underneath the boards. Hey, Vaklu, get big. Enlarge person. Congratulations, you're now my size.
Oh, we were just giving Rocklu the time of her life tonight. All right.
Take an additional D4 of damage, which is just weapon damage, and she has advantages on strength checks and strength saving throws.
Sweet. Let me just mark these things down because
And
when I
she
do
gets
this by
that for
myself,
a minute.
I'm gonna forget. So let's see. She's biggened, and she got a magic weapon, elemental weapon. So we'll do that one. Okay. Is that it for you, Valk?
Yeah, that's literally all my actions.
Okay. It is now Zolzana's turn. She's gonna get a little closer. 30. And she's gonna go gunning again. That's a miss. And it's a just barely miss, but you know she's trying. It is now Ichi's turn. to about here. And he is, let me pull up the info. He's gonna pop off a dark star right on top of it. So let me go to the map layer and find the thing. Radius of 40 feet. So I suppose I will to do a cube. Okay. Just gonna pop that right there. And imagine, if you will, that it's a sphere. But just this kind of burst of like dark energy appears right on top of it. And the area within this sphere is filled with magical darkness and a crushing gravitational force. For the duration, the spell's area is difficult terrain. A creature with dark vision can't see through the magical darkness, and non-magical light can't illuminate it. No sound can be created within or pass through the area. Any creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage, and creatures are deafened while entirely inside it. Casting a spell that includes verbal components is impossible there. Any creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn starts its turn there must make a Constitution saving throw. The creature takes 8d10 force damage on a failed save, and half as much on a successful save. Creature reduced to 0 hit points by this damage is disintegrated.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted.
You're good.
I mean, it's a warranted reaction. Who can blame you?
Baby brothers, we're doing the work.
Bro
So
snapped his
speaking
fingers
of
and said it
which,
to the void.
does to have that Constitution saving throw for Kitty Baby. That's a 16, so that's a failure. Let's see. 8d10. So that's a total of 57 damage to Kitty. Yeah. Kitty's gonna leave that space. He doesn't like that. And gonna come land here next to Vaklu and Demir. So let's see. Its force bolts have not recharged, so it's just gonna do its regular attacks. It's going to do claws against Demir. Does a 27 hit?
Yes, it does. And I'm gonna use my reaction to teleport away. For that one, thank you. I teleport away and become invisible.
So you take 28 slashing damage.
Ouch!
And it's going to direct its other attacks against Vaklu now. Let's see.
Here, Demir, why don't you not take 9 of that?
that's 22 to hit Vaklu again. It's 20 damage for the first strike, assuming I can find her character sheet. Okay, and for the tail attack, ooh, well, like shit. Let's see. Oh, just hit, damn. Okay. And we'll take, well, another 24 damage. Okay. All right. So that's it for Kitty's turn for now. Vervain.
Yes. Alrighty. I am going to turn into an eagle, a big old gigantic eagle.
Cool. I will banish Manlish to the corner then.
Thank you.
Fucking eagle, if Roll20 will let me. Gotta think about it. Doesn't always remember what an eagle is. Lord, Manlish goes in the corner. And I will get so we can move that round. There we go.
And I'm flying straight out 80 feet.
Cool. You should be able to move yourself.
There we go.
Cool. Is that it for your turn?
I can cast spells from my beast form now, but I don't know that I want to. Let me just take a quick look here, see if there's anything I can spare. No, I don't know that there's anything I can do at the moment, so that's my turn.
All right. Before we continue, hold on. Gotta do some measuring. Okay. End of your turn, the kitty is going to do a legendary action, which will get everyone, including people up here at the top. Like Aaron is just barely within range. But I'd like for everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Demir gets +3, and so does Levy.
That is good to know.
Nope.
Who's like me more today? Well,
I'm
22
going.
Aaron side.
Yeah, it's worth it. I'm going to expend a charge of my clockwork armor to make this a 10.
ooh.
It's a 14 for Demir and sorry, brain broke for a minute.
Levy?
27 for Levy.
14 for Hawk as well.
Levy succeeds, Demir fails.
So does Hawk. Awesome.
Yeah, no, I don't want to take this, please. I am going to use Favor of the Gods. Wait, Favor of the Gods or Fortune's Grace? Favor of the gods. Ha! Oh, and I rolled very poorly. Do people think a 17 will pass?
No.
If I knew that, I can't use my ability, so now I can't use it. Oh well. I tried. Okay, hit us with it.
Okay. If you got below a 22, you failed. As the
Oh, yeah,
creature
that is good.
just kind of supernovas in this bright, blinding light. So those of you that failed take a nice 34 damage and are blinded. Those of you that succeeded take half of that and are not blinded.
What type of damage is that?
Force damage.
Rude. How
I'm
much
sorry,
did you
you
say
said
was again?
37
30.
damage?
34.
34. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Well, my concentration holds.
Blinded.
Barely.
Um,
Hang on a second. I need to look up if temporary
You are
HP
blinded.
affects the concentration thing.
and you are blinded.
Okay, yeah, so it doesn't matter. All right, so that was 34, half 34. Okay, that is just barely more than 15, which I think is the cutoff. Actually, I think it's 10. Either way. All right. Oh, nice. Avery's D20 just saved me. That makes concentration. Let's go.
And because I'm curious, does temporary hit points count or not count
It
towards
does
concentration?
count.
Okay.
I just did a quick search, and the first result was like a highlighted response that said you make a concentration roll even if all the damage is absorbed by temp HP. Which means if it's even partially absorbed by temp HP, I don't think that it affects the number you roll against.
It would be cool if temp HP worked that way, though.
Would be. At this level, it wouldn't matter. Well, no, it would matter a bit because it'd be able to take up, in this case, potentially 4 of the DC.
Marking down all of the NPCs' hit points. Thank you for your patience. Computer, please. Okay. Almost there. Okay. All right. Cool. So that brings us to Tobias's turn.
Yep. Okay. Because I have to leave right at noon, I'm just gonna get Tobias out of there. Perfect. 30 feet off. Tobias is fucking gone. He looks at Aaron, does the peace sign, and then bam, out of there. He's like, good luck, homie. It's like, good luck, brother.
All right. It is now Big Voklu's turn. She's got 2 attacks with her maul, and then she has an offhand monk hit that she can do. So for her first strike with her maul, that's definitely gonna hit. So So 8 bludgeoning plus 6 rage. 14 plus elemental weapon. For 1 damage, but you know, every bit counts. All right, next hit. That's also gonna hit.
Wait, 1 damage?
Hmm?
Baklu has 2d4 additional damage.
Not 1 damage for the elemental weapon.
Ah, okay.
I rolled a 1 on the d4 for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But for her second one, that's...
I like how we turned this. I like how together we turned this goblin to a storm giant, and thus a normal person with a lightning weapon.
Well, we know how hard she hits.
Oh, my dice.
Yeah.
And she was in the right position.
Yeah, it was her or Gregor, but I figured Gregor didn't need it.
And then... Alright, and then for her offhand monk hit that she's legally entitled to. Ooh, no, yeah, that'll hit. Rolled poorly, but hit's a hit. Awesome. Did a fair chunk of damage to it. All right. That's it for Vok's turn. It is Demir's turn now.
Cool. I am blind. So a question about my blindness. Am I able to still run or
Yeah. Yeah, you can still run.
Would I be able to get out? Because I can technically make it to join Toby. The question is, can I do so while blind?
You have to go around the corner though, which requires extra movement.
Yeah. Well,
Would I be able to help? Because I am there and can see the terrain.
Sure, you can help guide, but you still have to go around the corner.
Yeah. I mean, Demir has 70 feet of movement, so
If you want to just book it out, you can.
yeah, I think Demir might book it out. She's blind; she can't do anything. So
Go forward, go forward. Stop, stop. Turn 90 degrees, 90 degrees, a little bit more.
towards me, towards me. No, you're over towards me.
Okay.
I'm just come right at me. I'll jump.
Demir is going to GTFO.
All right. That brings us to Erin. You also get a yeet.
Yeah. I don't think he has anything super useful he can drop before he does. So I'm just gonna say that, yeah, Demir runs by him and he just follows Demir out like, okay, turn, you're good here. Yeah, okay. Little bit more. Oh God, there's a rug.
Aaron is being Demir's little guide dog.
Woof.
Right. That brings us to Gregor. Gregor is going to double dash to get up to Kitty next to Vok. That will be it for his turn. Valkyria.
I am blind with all my eyes, yet I cannot see. I guess I put my hand out to the wall. Go to the end of the thing. Fuck, I didn't measure that. That would be 30 feet of guaranteed movement. And because I was ditched, what is this just a roof with no walls?
No, there are walls.
Okay. Okay, so that is 30 feet. I have an additional 50 if I use a dash, but then half because I have to be cautious. Can I get out? Not quite. Ugh. Wait, didn't Demir and Aaron go this way?
Yeah, we just went through
Yeah.
here.
Can I make a perception check to follow them?
Sure.
Wait, no, just one. 19.
Sure. Yeah, you can follow.
Okay, I have the extra 5 feet I needed to get off the field.
Aaron runs off with Demir in front of him being guided and Valk frantically trying to follow.
Hawk.
All right. Don't think I really want or need to do anything other than get Levy the heck out of here. So I'm blinded too, right?
Did you
Sure.
fail your save?
Pretty sure I did, yeah. Yeah, I rolled the same as Demir and she failed, so yep. Thankfully I think I just need to provide a direction. So I'll take hold of Levy and command the cloak to take us let's say like 200 feet north. Thereabout. That's probably close enough to the rest of the group.
Right.
So, like,
That would
like a twirl of the cloak, vanish.
All right.
Wait, so did you just do the oh no, what's his name? The dude who wears the
Meta Knight?
suit in
No.
Tuxedo mask.
Yes, thank you. You know what I mean.
I gotcha.
Yep. I was helpful. You didn't do anything. I was helpful.
That takes us to Aaron Schur, who is not blounded. Let's see. He is going to, now that he's gotten a picture of things, Misty step over here, and he's gonna try and stab the shit out of Kitty with his rapier. Natural 19, so that hits. Let's see. So, that's not a D8. A 10 piercing plus 7 cold damage. All right. So he has stabbed the kitty. Zolzana's turn. Gonna shoot at it. That's a natural 20. Just rolled 2 nat 20s in a row for her. So good for her, I guess. Um, where are your stats, ma'am? Okay. Okay. Cool. Chipping away, chipping away. Eitree's turn. Eitree is blinded. So what he's gonna do instead, he's gonna summon Jin. Let me see if I have an actual good token for that. Not really a vibe. Roll 20. What the fuck? Why do you fight me so? I could grab Genie from Aladdin. That's one of the ones that's bringing up.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All right. um, so the Jinn is going to gonna take an attack with a couple of its scimitars. Yeah, that'll hit. Okay. It's going to do the total of 18 damage. There we go. Chipping away. Cool. Kitty's turn. Let's see if Kitty gets the force bolts back. Does not. It's gonna do a regular attack, one against Vok, one against Ironshire, and one against the Genie. Hits Vok, hits Ironshire, misses the Genie. So 14 damage against Ironshire. Assuming I can find his character sheet again.
Sorry.
Thank you for being patient. It's a lot of NPCs.
That's all good.
If I'm gonna do this fair, I think I gotta actually calculate it. It hit against Vok as well. 20 against block. It rolled much better. And then it missed against the genie with the tail attack. Vervain.
I'm flying the rest of the way out. I'm going, here and out.
Cool. And so with that, the battle for you guys ends. You're able to regroup.
Stay as an eagle for the moment.
All right. You're able to regroup in a slightly more populated area. You notice that the various enthralled Empyreans have noticed you, but are not making any moves to stop you as you begin to approach the very large cathedral where the spire itself would be on the material plane. And that's where we'll pick up next time.
Woo! See y'all in person.
Oh my god.
No way.
That's so
Time in the
exciting.
flesh.
You're telling me you guys aren't just like faces on a screen? No.
I
Ugh.
thought I was just like violently hallucinating the rest of you guys into existence.
Imagine doing so much that you hallucinate an entire D&D campaign.
That'd be pretty wild.
Damn.
That would be amazing, actually.
Isn't that just writing a novel, though?
I mean, you're right.
You're not wrong.
I don't see such an incorrect statement here.
I gotta drive a long ways and still secure exactly where I'm staying because I've been putting that off because stress. But it'll be nice to see people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I miss y'all.
Yeah, I've got to secure transportation myself and also actually figure out if I'm picking up a cake for Dove Day finale day.
The birthday girl.
Y'all.
I have important culinary decisions to make.
Look, I just
Dove.
think that the
I
birthday
am-
girl should have her character killed for her birthday.
I'll do my best. No, I wouldn't want to deny her birthday wish, right?
Yeah, like I'm even willing to like go to La Provence actually the foofy like French restaurant like literally across the parking lot from where I work. They've got some very delicious looking cakes.
Yes.
Well,
Could be
thanks
feels
for
fitting
playing,
for
guys.
a gigantic event. But
Thanks
yeah.
for running it.
Fun as always.
Oh yeah.
See you next time.
See you
See you guys
around.
next
Bye.
weekend.